cloud is all the rage, potentially future growth for the company. What did you make of the cloud business this quarter?
Just like you said, they are spending in ramping up cloud, but it's showing results. So 39% in the segment that they house cloud, it's pretty strong. Probably cloud is going much faster than that. And what we are seeing over here is, for the next really year, cloud is going to take center focus as they push into enterprise, and they are getting some early success over here, and they have the capacity to compete with Amazon and Microsoft. So you're going to see cloud becoming a bigger and bigger deal for Google, but it'll come at a cost as they scale that business, and that's what you're largely seeing in the cloud business.
And Nicole, what is your take on the cost of keeping up and gaining market share in that cloud business?
Well, it is going to take some continued investment, as we just said, but I think there is the potential for a huge payoff on that side, and we have seen some major contracts awarded to competitors recently, so I expect Google to keep investing in the hopes of winning some of that business in future.
I want to talk, Jitendra, about the income statement because it seems like a broad-based miss. Top line revenue comes in line, but operating income, margins, and then the bottom line seem to be a miss all in a row. Is it a revenue problem or an expense problem?
It's not a revenue problem. I mean, if you look at their core ad business, there's a dynamic where the ad pricing is improving. We see a search becoming more and more valuable on mobile as it gets crowded with the space. So there's some impact that you will see in terms of improving ad pricing because of that, and that's offsetting the the 18% increase in paid clicks, the volume of ads, if you may, that you're seeing. So this dynamic will keep playing. I think the ad business will keep humming well, but the cloud business is where disclosure could be a bigger deal for them next year, because at scale it is a very profitable business, as we have seen with other competitors, and Google has the scale. And if they can come out and show that disclosure to the street, like, look, this is how fast we are growing vis-a-vis others, and this is the profitability, which it could very well happen next year. It could spur a re-rating for the company.
Nicole, I just got off the phone with the CFO, Ruth Porat, and she said it was a very noisy quarter, which broadly led to the miss in the margins and the bottom line. On the expense side, there was a one-time legal expense that they had to pay for, but there was also an unrealized gain or loss, which had to do with some accounting changes and how you now have to market some of those unrealized losses on your income statement. Namely, we think it's Uber and Slack. She wouldn't specifically clarify that those were the companies, but is there a real impact that the venture capital arms of these companies can really start to hit the income statement and lead to some bottom line misses relative to where you think they should be?
I think that is possible. I mean, I think for me, my biggest takeaway from Google, we do focus really heavily on the ad side, and they beat investor expectations as well as our expectations for their gross ad revenues. And we see, although CPCs are continuing to decline a little bit, overall paid clicks are way up, as we said. Additionally, traffic acquisition costs have continued to stabilize, and that was something that had investors worried. They peaked earlier this year. They've dropped slightly since then, so I think that's a really good sign for the bottom line on their ad business.
Jitendra, so we've talked a lot about the ad business. Last week, we sat here and we said the same thing about Amazon, that ad business is so strong for that company. It's a lever that they can pull. How mature is Google and Alphabet's ad business, or are there still some more levers that they can pull?
Well, mobile search still has room to grow. They are still trailing peers in terms of concentration of revenues coming from that. And as the results show, it continues to be a very valuable franchise for the company, and they are the market share leaders. So we expect the momentum to continue there. But with Amazon and Google side by side, they're switching roles where advertising will come at the forefront for Amazon going forward as a cloud business faces law of large numbers, while Google is going to start showing more results on the cloud front. So you're going to see this dynamic play out, which really plays well for both companies. I mean, that the market is growing at a very healthy clip. There is enough room for the three of them to enjoy good growth. But disclosure on both companies, advertising on Amazon and potentially cloud on Google, is what could make it more exciting.